Hello, folks. My name is DK. There is two, three things I want to ask and that I want to talk about to three departments: the government, the police, Scotland Yard. IOPC is not actually three departments, but all the civil servant government authorities, which is the Home Office, the government, policing, NHS, and the IOPC. Uh, and I want to look into my situation whereby there is a greater concern from me, my family, and relatives as to what have happened to me and what is happening to me. Uh, sorry, uh, pardon me. I will look at these things. I will start with the government as a whole, UK government for that matter. And I would like to start by saying, I know rules and regulation are there for each and every department to adhere to and follow them, considering the human right of individual, breach of data, a data breach, uh, code of conduct, violation of code of conduct, uh, ethical of each individual who have sworn oath to uphold the law or sworn oath to each and every of the job that they do. And I know, having said that, for all this department, I know people are of deceit, people are of dishonest, consoling, corrupt, discrimination, and that breach code of conduct on a daily basis. That's fine. That is there. That is there everywhere you go. Now that does not mean rules and regulation of the government or that have been set by the government are there to be breached or to be misguided by any individual or department for that matter. Yet these things happen. And I am in this situation because those things have happened to me. They have happened to me, they are happening to me on a daily basis. Now, obviously, each and every department, in terms of financial, policing, government, NHS, ambulances, all these departments have their complaint department, have their resolution department, have their management, CEO, and all that, who make sure or have to make sure within their position that nobody within those divisions breach the law, rules and regulation of the government. That's why we have complaint departments in each and every department. That's why there is a management department. That's why there is a CEO department, chief constable, chief of police, IOPC to hold police accountable, commissioner, all this department. But yet, my question is this, and this is one good scenario which is relating to my situation that I'm in, that I'm going to look into. The first one is this. If an individual for over 8 years, like in my situation, his rights have been breached, his human rights have been violated, code of conduct have been breached, data protection have been breached, Equality Act have been breached, uh, all these rules that should never have been violated have been violated against me. I have made all complaints. I have exhausted all complaint process within the government, within this department. Yet nothing is being done about it. But I will hold that thought there. Now let's take one good example, and which is really my point. People die because of human error. People die because of gross misconduct. People die because of breach of rules and regulation on a daily basis. Knowingly, they should have never violated those rules and regulation. But then, family are left in agony, in distress, emotional, psychologically, mentally, and physically. Yet the process of complaints, the involvement of management, the involvement of governments, IOPC, Home Office, they prolong the situation knowingly. Those rules have been violated to start with, and put more even people in agony, where they should say, hang on a minute, we have to put a stamp onto it to make sure whoever were to think to violate any rules and regulation of the government, they were to be held accountable. But if the government, if police department, if IOPC, if NHS, if Northwest Ambulance Trust or any ambulance trust, if any other department, bank, whatever, for that matter, knowingly that they have violated these rules and regulation that have been set by the government, IOPC or whatever department that may be, that they have been violated. Why is it people have to go? People have to be, these things have to take long time to be investigated. Why is it all this issue are being prolonged for years and years and years through litigation, tracking these families, this individual who have gone through this process knowingly rules and regulation have been violated? Why is it people have to go through hell and back for them to get justice? Why? Or does that mean to say people are being protected when they violate rules and regulation knowingly they should have never violated them to start with? Because the problem is two problems. The first problem is this: the government is the one getting up or ending up paying severely for all these mistakes that have been done by civil servant or employee or whatever that might be, and negligence of those departments. But to those that seek justice, they end up getting it, having gone through hell and back. Why is it people have to go? Let's take one good example. Take Hillborough incident. These things have taken decades for people that have lost their families. Have taken decades for it to come to conclusion or to be fully investigated. While some people have left their jobs, are no longer in that position, or they cannot be fully held accountable because it has been a long time ago. While the facts still remain, rules and regulations have been violated. We have all these committees, government committees, justice system, MPs, a solicitor, legal aids, and all these departments that have been set by the government to make it easier and possible for those that violate rules and regulations that have been set by the government to be held accountable. But yet, they are not being fully exercised to do their job. They are not being fully supported by the government to uphold the law. They are not being fully forced to make sure that rules and regulations are never being violated, because at the end of the day, it's people's life that are more important than people's mistakes. People's life are more important than any government. People's life are more important than any other thing as far as life concerns itself. That's why we have Human Rights Equality Act, justice, all these rules that make sure when somebody breach rules and regulations are to be held accountable for the things that they have done. Correct? But yet, for one to access justice system, they go through hell and back. For one to get justice, some of them die fighting for justice when they have been done wrong. Some of them are poisoned. Some of them are brain damaged. Some of them are being accidentally killed intentionally to pay cause of justice. So does that mean it's alright for somebody within power that violate the rules and regulations to go on and kill an innocent person for something that they have done wrong, and for that person to seek justice? Is that the right thing to do? We all have to live by that code. People are being bribed knowingly that people have lost their life. Is that the right thing to do? People die because police know they are guilty of gross misconduct, and they will do anything to make sure justice is not served for what they have done wrong. Is that the right thing to do? People die because of police negligence, and these things take ages to be investigated because of litigation, power, and corruption. Is that the right thing to do? And when anybody try to speak out the truth, they are targeted as whistleblower for speaking out the truth. Is that the right thing to do? Because I'm confused. I'm confused in terms of justice system. I'm confused. Sorry. I'm confused in terms of complaint handling process that are never have been upheld. I'm confused that one have to go through hell and back before they can get justice. If anything, by the time they get justice, they don't have long to live because of what has been done to them in perversion of justice. I'm confused in terms of people are being isolated to be killed in perversion of justice because of what have been violated against their human right or against their well-being or against themselves for negligence. I'm confused that people are being isolated for them not to tell the truth or to have a communication with anybody who is in position to help them or to believe them or to listen to what they have been through and ask the right questions. Is that the right thing to do? I don't know. Because it seems to me like, to come back to my answer now, it seems to me like everything that I am going through, I know, all the police departments knows, social services know, local authority knows, chief of police knows, chief constables knows, IOPC know, home office know, that this person's rights have been violated from left to right center. But yet, as he seeks justice, his life is in threat because they do not want the truth to come out for what they have done to him. His sanctuary, his home, is being fitted with bugs, listening. His friends and family have been turned against him. For that, no one have to believe anything that he says for justice not to be served. Police monitor, intervene, listen to my calls, cut my calls, use my friends and family to translate whoever I talk to on a daily basis. Is that the right thing that have to happen for somebody who have been neglected, for somebody whose rights have been violated? Is it? Huh? Is it the right thing when an undercover sits behind somebody's house, when a neighbor is being used by the police on a daily basis to monitor, observe an individual when they are seeking justice for what they have been done wrong? Sorry. Is that the right thing to do? But what they don't consider in all this perversion of justice is they do it. And for somebody to pervert cause of justice is because they have done something wrong that they do not want to be held accountable of what they have done wrong. It's not because the person who is seeking justice have done wrong. No. It's because something have been done wrong and have been in his right have been violated, his liberty have been violated. Hence the reason for anybody to seek justice. But before that happen, that person have to die, have to go through hell, have to be sectioned under mental health, have to be tormented, have to be monitored, have to be observed, have to be followed. While people, while rapists, while murderers, while criminals walk free from justice system. And while those have been breached and code of conduct and violated rules and regulation because of resources that they have a right to do so without being held accountable. Is that the right thing to do? But when you question this, obviously you will be frustrated. You will be angry. Imagine my 8 years that I've gone through this hell, knowingly that whatever I do in aggression, whatever I ask in aggression, all will be turned against me in perversion of justice. As I'm seeking the truth, knowingly that this person is blatantly ignoring me through lies, fallacy, malice, and slander, while they are the one in criminal position, while they hold the power to serve and protect the public, while they wear the badge to criminally do all these things. Is that the right thing to do? And what does solicitate or what does ignite the government, the IOPC, Scotland Yard, or each and every police department, management, complaint department, NHS, for that matter, to say no, what you are doing to that person is wrong and that have to stop? Because when the chief of each and every department know that his department have caused hell to an individual, they will side with their employees to cover and protect them, knowingly these people have violated the rules and regulations. They do. Because if they didn't, all these things would never happen. But where does all this leave families of those people that their rights have been violated? We have social services that care, adult children, whatever, that care about people. But they are not going to say, you, the police, what you do to this person is wrong, you have to stop it. Or will help this person get the justice against the police. No, they won't. They will side with the police and inflict more agony to that person than helping that person to seek justice. Is that the system that we are living in? Is that the world that we are living in? Is that the world where we want our kids to grow up in? When somebody come and laugh with me and joke with me, knowingly, when they go back to their home or into their department or into their houses, they will turn around and say, that stupid whatever, that person. And the reason we go to that person home is to monitor, to spy, to gain information and feedback to those that are violating his word and are trying to kill him to pervert cause of justice. Is that the right thing to do? that are bribing his family, that are blackmailing his friends. And when somebody die, having gone through all this process of seeking justice, then it take another 2, 3, 4 years before justice actually served. Knowingly, these people had more than enough time to stop the violation of rules and regulation, conduct, abuse, harassment, tormenting, poisoning, untainted matter. They had that opportunity. While IOPC would have intervened, while each and every complaint should have been hauled to stop all this. But when that person lost his life, then it became apparent that it's no longer a case because that person is no longer alive. So nobody pay attention to that. But what they don't realize is that that person's kids left without the parent. That person's wife left without the father, the husband. That person's mother left without a son. That person's father left without a son or a daughter. But the friends that have helped to kill that person are the one coming to funerals, crying crocodile tears, knowingly that they have contributed to that person's death. And if they want to speak out, the same process is being done against them. Is that the right thing to do? And where does the IOPC intervene and say, we know what you're doing to that person, and if anything were to happen to that person, we will dearly hold you accountable and will give you opportunity to sort out that situation? Where the government committee have to turn around and say, no, this is enough. You sort out the solution before it gets severely, or you will go to prison. Why don't the government say, or the Home Office say, no, enough is enough, you can't do that, or put a stamp to it and say, when you are in a position that you have been trusted to serve and protect, that you have been trusted to save life, that you have been entrusted in position of civil servant, if you violate those rules, you will go to prison. All this will stop. People will not die anymore because of negligence, because of misconduct, because of corruption, because of everything else that is to do with violation of rules and regulation that have been set out to protect, to safeguard those that have been abused or neglected due to negligence and gross misconduct of those in position of helping and guiding those are in need or those are seeking justice. I can talk all night long, but those are my questions because I don't understand. And especially to somebody with no criminal record, with no prior, with no driving offenses, but yet their lives have been turned upside down because those have neglected against him, those have violated rules and regulation against him, are the one that perverting justice. For when he's seeking justice, and his life have to be in hell, he have to be discriminated against, his data have to be in breach on a daily basis, day and night. His life have to be in hell, he have to be isolated from friends and family for over 8 years. Lives have been fed through friends and family. Everybody have been turned against them because they have the power and the right to do so. not rightfully but wrongfully in violation of justice, in perversion of justice, by oppressing those who seek justice for when they have done wrong. Thank you very much. And I hope you comment below. Because I'm confused. I have been confused for over 8 years. Thank you very much.